There are now level 1, 2, and 3 evacuations for a house fire that turned into a wildfire in Clark County. This morning, we're live near Le Center with the latest information.
And you've probably heard of Bo Nix, but what about Bodacious, the Oregon Duck quarterback, now on a huge billboard in New York, and Twitter is going absolutely nuts over it.
From New York City to the beautiful town of Banks, we are live in rural Washington County this morning, getting ready for a most unique local event. We're talking about the annual Banks Barbecue, which features the Combine Destruction Derby, where they take old farming combines like the one I'm standing on here and like Big Red over there, and they ram them into each other until only one is left standing. So Christine, Brenda, and Chris McGinnis, we're going to preview the Combine Destruction Derby coming up a little bit later this morning here on Sunrise.
Be careful up there. That is a great shot. Kudos to you and Eric Patterson this morning. Hey, happy Friday Eve, everybody. We have more good news. It's cooling down today.
We are done with the triple digits.
Thank you.
After 4 consecutive days of triple-digit heat, Portland hit another record high yesterday, 103. Troutdale hit 105. Vancouver 102. Salem 104. All records for the date. We're done with the triple-digit heat. We're not done with the 90s just yet, though.
Yeah, it's still hot.
Still hot, but not as hot. All right, let's get you out the door. Here's a live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera. A little cloud cover working its way in here. You can see a little sliver, a little break in the clouds there as the sky tries to brighten up. We're still a little ways away from sunrise. And it, again, is another very mild morning out there. 71 degrees last check at PDX. We're still in the 70s in Tigard and Westland at 72. Salem right now waking up to 71, 72 in Almsville. All right, the plan for today, clouds and sun with temperatures in the mid-80s at lunchtime. I have Portland topping out in the lower 90s this afternoon. It gets cooler from there. We'll show you that with your 7-day in just a second. Let's get you out the door with a live look at the roads. We'll take you out to Hillsborough, Highway 26. Rolling right along. Traffic both directions in pretty good shape. We'll switch gears and take you down to Tualatin. That's I-5 near the 205 interchange. And for some perspective at home, the northbound I-5 commute is moving from the bottom right of your screen to the upper left. That's in pretty good shape, guys. The traffic map all in green. No crashes, no unexpected delays just yet.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris. We begin this morning in Clark County, where a house fire turned wildfire is still burning. It has prompted level 3 go now evacuations.
Devin Haskins is live near Le Center this morning for us. And Devin, what can you tell us?
Well, good morning. Right now, we're just off Northwest Bolin Road here, just north of the main area of Le Center, about a mile or so away from where that fire started, from our location, about a mile or so away from where that fire started just before 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. At last check, fire crews said that that fire was about 5% contained. Relatively small fire. I mean, 32 acres, not big, but not small in terms of wildland fires, but enough to do damage. 2 structures had burned, fire crews tell us. The home where it started and a barn on the same property burned in the fire and then spread to trees and grass. No injuries have been reported. Helicopters dropped water from the nearby Lewis River onto the fire. It's burning along a rural area along Jenny Creek Road. Multiple agencies work to protect structures and homes and stop the flames from spreading even further to even more trees and homes. With it being a rural area, fire crews told KGW last night that water was an issue.
You're looking at an issue with water supply, and with it being a little more rural, you're looking at taking a little longer to get crews there. So immediately it became with a 100 plus degree day that it was in the winds. That's a hot August day that we typically see in Clark County. The fire took off and not only became a house fire, but then started to spot out and take off up the hill towards multiple residences.
All right, so what you're looking at right now is an evacuation map. That red you see in the middle, the small, or the red square in the middle is level 3 evacuation zone. Initially, some 17 homes were told to evacuate. That zone has scaled back from when they initially sent out the level 3 zone, although right now we don't have an exact number of how many homes are still in that level 3 zone. There's also the level 2, which is the outside, and then the level 1 zone, which is get set, still in place for much of Le Center. Fire officials did tell us, though, one thing that helped them was a homeowner that grabbed their tractor and started digging their own fire line to help fire crews get a little handle on the exterior of the fire. For now, we're live in Le Center. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, hoping for good weather and all the good stuff for fire crews this morning as they try to contain that fire. Thank you, Devin. Multnomah County health officials are reporting a second potential heat-related death. The county says the person died Tuesday when the temperature outside was 103.
The reality is that anyone could potentially be at risk, and we're most concerned, obviously, for children and elderly, seniors in our community, and also anyone who has an underlying health condition that might make them more susceptible and more vulnerable to the heat.
Another person in Multnomah County died of suspected heat-related causes Monday. 2 people have drowned, one in Clackamas County Sunday, the other a 15-year-old in Longview on Saturday.
The heat also taking a toll on wineries. Right now, employees at Willamette Valley Vineyards in Turner are only working half days. They say they're leaving extra leaves on the vine to protect them from the sun. Experts say sometimes when it's this hot for this long, the grapes just don't ripen. They're also concerned that smoke from the wildfires will affect the harvest.
The vines basically shut down when it gets over 100. They're just like us. They don't want to be out in it.
The wildfire smoke can severely impact wine quality. And for a lot of vineyards and wineries, it can make fruit unmarketable.
2020 was a really rough year for some winemakers. And yesterday, smoke from the wildfires in Lane County was noticeable in Turner. For now, the grapes are okay, but experts say the time to worry and watch very closely is coming up next month when the grapes finally begin to ripen.
A map of Portland's new voting districts could be finalized next week. It's part of a voter-approved plan to divvy up the city and change the way elections run. The Independent District Commission unanimously approved the map last night. As you saw on your screen and as you can see here, the Selwood and Moreland neighborhoods join areas west of the Willamette. The plan is for voters to elect 3 council members from each district in 2024, 12 in total, using ranked choice voting. A final vote could happen as soon as Monday.
Some big news from OHSU and Legacy Health. They plan to merge next year. The combined system would include more than 32,000 employees, 100 plus locations, and 10 hospitals. OHSU and Legacy say they've signed a non-binding letter of intent to join forces. Regulators must still approve that merger.
And check this out. The Oregon Ducks are going coast to coast to make sure everyone knows the name of its quarterback, Bo Nix. There is now a huge billboard of Nix in Midtown Manhattan, along with one word, bodacious. According to the Oregonian, it's 151 by 90 feet. Nix threw for nearly 3,600 yards and 29 touchdowns in his first season. You may remember this is what Oregon did 22 years ago with Joey Harrington. Oregon paid $250,000 to put up this 10-story billboard to promote Harrington as a Heisman Trophy candidate. Harrington reacted to the new billboard, tweeting, "I could not love this anymore. Go shock the world, Bo. Our whole Oregon Ducks family is behind you."
I bet. I'm thinking Bo's mom is looking at that and saying, "Why didn't you show my son's face?"
I wondered about that too.
Oh my gosh. All right. Chris McGinnis standing by in the Weather Center for Rod.
He's quite imposing, though, standing there with his helmet ready to go, right? Bring on football season, just about here. All right, get done with the heat. We are done with the triple-digit heat. I'm happy to tell you that. And we are waking up to what's probably going to be a pretty colorful sunrise out there. This is the live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera. We do have some broken clouds that have worked their way north and westward into northwest Oregon. I'll show you why in just a second. It's mild out there again. Another warm night. 71 we are starting off. Radar right now showing some very light rain showing up right now in extreme southeastern Clackamas County, Marion, Lynn, Lane counties, Jefferson and Deschutes counties, right through the heart of the Central Oregon Cascades. You can see the progress these showers have made overnight. They are quite likely to fall apart here pretty soon, but the debris clouds from those are continuing to work their way our way. So we're going to filter out the sunshine for a good while this morning, and you see that on Futurecast. Not much going on in terms of any rainfall west of the Cascades, but certainly the clouds will help to limit the warm up today. So that's one thing. The other thing is that the air mass itself is generally just a little bit cooler with a little bit more onshore component to the wind. That's also going to help chip away the temperatures. And the bottom line is that the temperatures today in Portland are going to be a good 8 to 10 degrees cooler today than they were yesterday. That said, it's still mild to start. It's 67 in Hillsborough, 71 Aurora, and the big picture across the state. Look at that. It's almost 80 right now in Bend. Very, very warm in Central Oregon. That part of the state, by the way, I should say east of the Cascades, there's still a heat advisory in effect for the gorge and excessive heat warning for one more day for the Columbia Basin. You can see temperatures this afternoon, again, well up into the upper 90s and triple digits for them. West side of the state, we keep it in the low 90s today in Portland. We keep it in the upper 60s to low 70s along the Oregon coast. And if that's not cool enough for you, check this out. We cool it down even more. Clouds, then sun tomorrow. Maybe some of us might not get out of the 70s for highs on Friday. That will feel great. We warm it back up a little bit this weekend, but no triple-digit heat in the forecast, which means it is a great weekend to get out and about to Banks, where we send it out to Drew Carney.
We were rolling up in style this morning, Chris. Check this out. A cool car cruising. Part of the fun this weekend at the 77th annual Banks Barbecue. That's right, we are live in Banks this morning. We're going to preview the barbecue with the cool cars, and we're also talking about the annual Combine Destruction Derby. That's all next, right here on Sunrise.